I stopped a major thing for Beyonce. Didn't even get a thank you.
But now everybody's
why is everybody calling me now?
Tasha K just dropped a bomb that has the internet spinning, claiming Beyonce and Jay-Z allegedly paid Jason Lee millions in hush money to keep quiet. Yeah, you heard that right. The same Jason Lee who went from gossip blogger to vice mayor of Stockton is now being accused of taking a payoff from two of the biggest names in music. According to Tasha K, the Carters wanted Jason silent, that whatever dirt he had on them was worth serious money. But is that true or just another viral rumor? Because if you follow Jason Lee's story, you know this isn't the first time his name's been tangled up with the Carters, money, and controversy. So before we dive into whether Jason actually took that alleged payout, let's rewind, because how did a Hollywood insider end up holding political office in the first place? Jason Lee's leap from celebrity gossip to City Hall was the kind of twist you'd expect in a reality show, not real life. But in November, after Stockton's new mayor, Christina Fugazi, took office, she shocked the city by appointing Jason as vice mayor.
You know, like Ashton Kutcher, Demi Moore, Beyonce, Jay-Z. I don't know if they were at Diddy After Dark when people were getting sprayed down with baby oil. What I will say is that, you know, you've heard a lot of things about Diddy over the years, blowing up cars, harassing people, threatening people, having people killed, allegedly, all allegations.
The reaction was immediate: confusion, disbelief, and concern. Residents questioned how someone with no political background, best known for stirring the pot in Hollywood, suddenly found himself second in command of a major California city. To Jason, it was a natural evolution. In his words, he was bringing culture to politics. But to many locals, it felt like a stunt. Jason wasn't just stepping into a new world, he was diving headfirst into one filled with accountability, legal boundaries, and taxpayer money. And if you believe his critics, he blew past those boundaries almost immediately. The appointment wasn't just unexpected, it was controversial from the jump. People who'd never watched Hollywood Unlocked were now being asked to trust its founder with city decisions.
With Beyonce, you know, it's just a weird thing because I do love her so much, and I would never, ever want to do anything to hurt her or her image because she's, you know, she's important to us. But it's just a weird thing right now. Like, I love Beyonce still. And then you have celebrities like a Jay-Z. And this is where I think the whole fallout with the Beyonce, she's just kind of in the crosshairs because of all of what's going on.
That trust eroded quickly. Barely months into his new role, Jason was already making headlines, and not for the reasons city leaders hoped. The scandal kicked into high gear with an event that was supposed to put Stockton on the map, a live taping of Wild 'N Out at the Adventist Health Arena. Jason Lee was front and center, hyping the event as a win for the city and proof that his celebrity ties could bring real opportunities to Stockton. He promised it would be a culture-shifting moment, entertainment meets politics, with Jason playing the connector. But behind the scenes, everything was unraveling. Ticket sales tanked, promoters were scrambling, and rather than accept the flop, city officials pulled $50,000 from the city's risk mitigation fund.
If Jason Lee is going to let Jay-Z and Beyonce manipulate him and be cool with him now, which he already told you, Jay-Z didn't want to go to the award show. He never got any hair care products. He was made to look like a crazy stalker following Beyonce around. At this point, if they're reaching out to you now, that means they're manipulating you.
Money intended for emergencies, not entertainment. That's where Jason allegedly stepped in. According to Steve Kingallo, the city's former interim manager, Jason bypassed official channels and personally mishandled the funds. The accusation? That Jason funneled the money through his personal contacts tied to the event, blurring the line between public duty and private profit. No formal approvals, no paper trail, just a vice mayor who, if the claims are true, treated city money like his own personal promo budget. Even worse, it wasn't just about the money, the optics were bad. Residents were furious that taxpayer dollars from a city already struggling financially were being used to keep a celebrity event afloat. Local business owners who couldn't get support from the city watched in disbelief as funds were funneled into a flashy show. And when the event finally took place, it wasn't even close to a sellout.
Diddy has now caused problems for Jay-Z. I told you guys I've seen Jay-Z at the Diddy parties several times, but Diddy parties and Diddy After Dark are two different things. I want to go on record of saying I never saw Jay-Z at a Diddy After Dark party. Then again, I wasn't there.
The city didn't get the tourism boost Jason promised. What they got instead was a financial headache and a PR mess. It was a jaw-dropping moment, a failed event, a $50K hit, and a vice mayor suddenly at the center of a major financial scandal. But the $50,000 was just the beginning. Steve Kingallo wasn't done. In a bold move, he went public, demanding an internal investigation into Jason's actions and hinting that the real number wasn't thousands, it was potentially millions. Kingalo claimed Jason had been using a pattern of so-called event support transactions to dip into city accounts without proper oversight. On paper, it looked like the city was just investing in community engagement. But beneath that surface, Steve suggested Jason was quietly redirecting funds through personal relationships, a setup that, if proven true, could be one of the biggest local government scandals Stockton has ever seen. Even worse, the accusations claim Jason's involvement wasn't accidental or misinformed.
In the media with respect to Jay-Z and stuff. But with Jay, you know, when he complained at the Grammys about the Grammys not giving Beyonce Artist of the Year, when she's the most decorated Grammy-winning artist ever, we invited him to be honored at our award show.
This wasn't just a rookie mistake. It was deliberate, a system allegedly designed to avoid scrutiny while building his image and bankrolling his brand. Stockton, once desperate for revitalization, now looked like a city hijacked by a man playing a high-stakes game of political chess. And just when it seemed like the walls were closing in, Jason made a move no one expected. Instead of laying low or lawyering up, Jason did what he does best. He turned to the internet. In a lengthy Instagram post, he tried to flip the entire narrative. His defense? That the entire transaction had been above board, approved by Stockton's Director of Economic Development, and that he personally had no part in where the funds went. But he didn't stop there. Jason alleged there was a conspiracy brewing, claiming people inside the city were intentionally trying to sabotage him. He accused his critics of twisting facts and using the Wild 'N Out debacle as a smokescreen for a larger agenda.
And that's the problem that I have with this whole situation. But I am going to save this conversation for Jay-Z. Jay-Z, you're watching. I know you're watching because you got people calling me. Stop having people call me. You can call me yourself. You know how to get my number. You know you got people calling me.
And then, in a move that stunned even his followers, he dropped two names that took the scandal from local drama to global headlines: Beyonce and Jay-Z. Yes, according to Jason, this wasn't just about politics, it was personal. He claimed the music power couple had been quietly working behind the scenes to destroy his reputation, influence city decisions, and in his words, punish him for asking the wrong questions. Suddenly, the narrative was flipped. Jason wasn't the villain, he was the victim. If the accusations seemed far-fetched, Jason wasn't backing down. He claimed that Jay-Z and Beyonce were more than music icons. They were power brokers with influence stretching deep into politics, business, and media. And according to him, they didn't like being questioned. Jason alleged that his past efforts to support their projects had been met with cold shoulders. He cited everything from being left off the guest list for Beyonce's Renaissance premiere to not being invited to the Roc Nation brunch. Moments that, in his mind, weren't just social snubs but calculated moves to distance him. Then came the threat. Jason hinted he had receipts, evidence, leverage. He bragged about stopping a damaging story from hitting the press in the past, supposedly to protect Beyonce. He even implied that this wasn't a one-time favor. He had done it more than once. "I held back because I respected her," he said. But at some point, respect has to be mutual. He went further, painting a narrative where Beyonce's team actively worked to exclude him from industry conversations. From tour events to press junkets to major partnerships, Jason described a growing list of places where he had once been welcome and was now being frozen out. It wasn't just disrespect. In his eyes, it was a power play. To drive the point home, he said, "They know how to find me when they need something. But when I speak up, suddenly, I'm the problem."
It's like, okay, we have a Black-owned award show. We've honored you in the Breakfast Club. We've honored Whoopi Goldberg. We've honored Babyface, Lizzo, Floyd Mayweather. We've had Mariah Carey pop out. We just had Cardi B, Jonathan Majors, all these different people. And it was pretty much said, like, Jay doesn't really want awards. Well, he go to the Grammys.
Jason wasn't just throwing shade. He was dragging the Carters straight into the middle of a city scandal that had already rocked Stockton to its core. And to many, it looked like he was daring them to respond. But things really spiraled when Jason decided to go live and spill tea that had the internet spinning. In a now viral stream, he didn't just talk politics or Stockton, he turned the spotlight onto the celebrity elite, recounting the people he'd allegedly seen at Diddy's infamous parties: Travis Scott, Jordan Woods, Chris Brown, Teyana Taylor, Justin Bieber, even Beyonce and Jay-Z. Jason painted a picture of backyards full of A-listers, not just social gatherings, but scenes of potential scandal. He claimed these parties were where the real secrets lived, and by dropping names, he wasn't just trying to trend, he was firing warning shots. He told his audience, "I've seen it all," then teased that if pushed further, he might expose everything. Conversations, connections, even behaviors. Suddenly, the story shifted from Jason being petty about a movie premiere to something much darker, an alleged link between entertainment royalty and behind-the-scenes power plays that most people would never believe. He described the energy at those events as controlled, secretive, and coded, like everyone there knew where the line was and knew not to cross it. Jason claimed he had been invited not just as a guest, but as someone who could be useful, someone who was respected in the media world. But now, he said, they were trying to erase him. Insiders began whispering, why would Jason risk naming names unless he felt cornered? And what did he really see at those parties that he's still not saying? That's exactly how Jason wanted it. Messy, controversial, and impossible to ignore. The live rants didn't stop there. Jason began leveling more explosive claims that Beyonce and Jay-Z allegedly sent people to intimidate him. According to him, they weren't just mad, they were furious, and allegedly tried to silence him behind the scenes. He claimed they had industry insiders pressuring him to backtrack on his words. Some, he said, even threatened to get him fired or blacklisted from future projects.
Call me yourself, because this right here is going to go viral. The way my job works on the internet, everybody's going to clip and share it on TikTok.
Then came the legal move. Jason threatened a $25,000 defamation lawsuit against anyone spreading false accusations, citing emotional distress and reputational damage. And then came the blacklist. According to Jason, Beyonce and Jay-Z were quietly pulling strings to erase his presence from the industry. He claimed to have been shut out of events, had deals fall through without explanation, and noticed certain media outlets suddenly stop covering him at all. The timing, he argued, was too suspicious to ignore. He even said he received back-channel messages telling him to stay quiet or face consequences. In his telling, the pressure didn't arrive as a single smoking gun. It showed up as a pattern. Panels postponed, bookings restructured, interviews no longer a fit, and brand emails that slid from circling back to silence. He pointed to whispered legal chatter too, talk of cease and desist language, policy reviews, and NDA references meant to chill, not to litigate. According to Tasha K, that kind of squeeze would track with a pay-to-be-quiet narrative. If money didn't buy enough quiet, influence would. To be clear, that's unverified. But it's the angle fueling the debate online. Jason wasn't backing down. Instead, he doubled down, promising that if they kept pushing, he'd press the nuclear button and release everything he had. He teased dates, archived messages, and conversations he says could redraw how people view power in entertainment. To his supporters, this was proof that he was being punished for refusing to play along with industry elites. To critics, it was just more chaos, a man turning scandal into a spotlight. Either way, he made one thing clear: he wasn't leaving the stage. If pushed, he said, he'd detonate the story and name names. As the drama unfolded, the public response was a chaotic mix of disbelief and popcorn-worthy entertainment. Twitter lit up, memes exploded, one user joked, "Jason Lee being vice mayor lets me know all I need to know about Stockton." Another said, "This is what happens when clout meets city council." Still, some fans were paying close attention. The more Jason talked, the more people began wondering if there was truth buried in the madness. Was he bluffing, reaching, or did he really know something the rest of the world wasn't ready for? With every post, every stream, and every celebrity name drop, Jason blurred the line between truth and spectacle. His feud with Beyonce and Jay-Z no longer felt like petty shade. It was beginning to look like a calculated war. He framed himself as the only one bold enough to pull the curtain back on the biggest names in music, politics, and entertainment. But not everyone was convinced. To some, it felt like desperation, the unraveling of a man who climbed too high, too fast, and was now grasping at whatever he could to stay relevant. Others said it was classic damage control, bury the real issue under a much louder celebrity feud. And then there were those who couldn't stop watching. Whether they believed him or not, they were glued to the spectacle. Jason Lee had turned his scandal into content. Each day brought new posts, cryptic captions, and veiled threats. He wasn't hiding, he was performing. News outlets started picking it up, Reddit threads exploded with theories. Some users began combing through old footage and interviews, trying to connect dots that might prove Jason's claims. Others just enjoyed the chaos, calling it the most entertaining political meltdown of the year. Jason, ever the strategist, didn't seem to care what people believed as long as they were watching. So now the question lands in your lap. Is Jason Lee a rogue truth teller caught in a battle with the biggest names in the industry? Or is this all just a messy distraction from a political scandal he's trying to escape? Was the $50,000 just the tip of the iceberg, or a convenient excuse to launch a feud that would guarantee clicks and attention? And what about Beyonce and Jay-Z? Are they really pulling strings behind the scenes, or are they just the latest targets in Jason's ever-growing list of grievances? Some believe Jason's doing what he's always done, using media to control the narrative, build sympathy, and stir the pot. Others think this is the first time he's being truly honest, risking everything to bring secrets to the surface. His threats aren't just about reputation anymore. They're about survival in an industry where silence is currency and exposure comes at a price. And now that he's rattled cages at the very top of the entertainment food chain, there may be no turning back. We may never get all the answers, but one thing's clear: Jason Lee isn't done talking. And if he really does have the receipts he keeps teasing, the next chapter in this saga could shake up more than just Stockton. It could rattle the entire industry. What do you think? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Is Jason a hero or a hustler? A whistleblower or a walking PR storm? This story's far from over, and if Jason's to be believed, the wildest twists are still coming. And that's the Jason Lee playbook: turn controversy into conversation and weaponize every rumor. Whether you see him as fearless or reckless, there's no denying he's made himself impossible to ignore. The only question now is, how far is he willing to go?